Okay, this is source E, which is a very different source to the rest because it's not text-based, it's a table. But you shouldn't just disregard it because it looks very different and you think that there's no quotations or anything you can pull out of it. There is some kind of interesting information here. To me, the most interesting part of this is that they measured people's English speaking ability. And, about, what is that, 13.5 million people said they didn't really speak English very well, or they didn't really speak English at all, which to me is pretty amazing because that means those people, if you're monolingual, you will not really be able to talk to these people in any context. The not at all people you'll have to get an interpreter for, which is pretty amazing if you're, for example, like a businessman. You're closing yourself off to a massive market by just being monolingual. If your neighbors, for example, don't speak English, you won't be able to talk to your neighbors. So these two stats are very impressive for me if I'm going to make a multilingual argument. By the same token, you could flip that on its head, and you can also say that a lot of people, you know, 40 million people are very well versed in speaking English. So, it should be no problem to communicate with the vast majority of people, and only a tiny minority cannot speak English. So you can see it also depends on the way you want to present your arguments. Both are completely legitimate, and there's not a right way or a wrong way of doing it, as long as you're defending whatever point you're making with data. And by using this information, you could argue either way. Okay, let's move on to the final source.